Feeling stressed about the upcoming election? You're not alone. An American Psychological Association poll taken earlier this year found that 65% of U.S. adults felt exhausted by politics, while 55% felt angry.
You hear so much on both sides nonstop, like it's the end of democracy.
Two different characters, outlook on life. It's just a crazy world.
He is only focused on himself.
She's a low IQ individual.
This is therapist Laura Goldstein.
It's stress, it's anxiety, it's fear, it can sometimes be anger or outrage.
She says the election has increasingly come up during client sessions.
I think one of the other big things that we're seeing a lot of is people struggling to connect because it doesn't always feel safe to talk about. You don't know what environments are a safe environment to have political conversations or to discharge some of the stress.
Carrie Jarvie is a mental health counselor.
Yeah, if someone's experiencing stress leading up to this election cycle, it starts with reflecting on what is my level of media consumption? Has it reached the point where it's not helpful anymore?
He says people suffering from election anxiety should seek activities that decrease interaction from the media.
What are the things that make you feel like yourself?
Like surfing or going on a trail.
Election-wise, yeah, no one talks election.
This is a good release to be out in nature.
Consumer goods groups Unilever and Danone beat third-quarter sales estimates on Thursday. That's as they slowed price hikes and invested in winning back shoppers who turned to cheaper brands during an inflation surge. During the pandemic, the cost of everything rose, from freight to raw materials, while grain and energy surged in price after Russia's 2022 invasion of Ukraine. It meant the packaged food industry raised prices to protect margins. Shoppers started trading down to cheaper alternatives, like brands owned by Walmart and Tesco. At its peak in 2022, prices at Unilever, maker of Ben & Jerry's and Dove, were hiked up to 17%. In stark contrast, in the last quarter, both Unilever and Danone's price rises were under 1%, and both reported a spike in sales volumes. Unilever saw a rise of 3.5%, the biggest since the first quarter of 2021, and Danone, maker of Activia yogurt and Evian, was boosted by a 3.6% rise in sales volumes, on strong demand in North America for items including high-protein products. Analysts branded these results as reassuring, although not all consumer groups have had buoyant news. Nestlé last week cut its full-year sales growth outlook, battling high costs for coffee and cocoa. Both Unilever and Danone kept their forecasts for 2024.
Shares of Capri, the parent company of Michael Kors, fell as much as 48% in Friday morning trading after a fashion merger worth $8.5 billion with Coach owner Tapestry was blocked by a federal judge. Last year, Tapestry agreed to buy Capri in an effort to put luxury brands like Coach, Kate Spade, Stuart Weitzman, Versace, Jimmy Choo, and Michael Kors under one roof. It was a move designed to create a U.S. luxury giant that could better compete with larger European rivals. But in April, the Federal Trade Commission sued to block the deal. During an 8-day trial in September, the FTC argued the merger would create a massive company with the power to unfairly raise prices. The companies argued that handbags are non-essential items that consumers can control the prices of by not buying them if they become too expensive. The U.S. District Judge rejected that defense Thursday. Tapestry said it believes the ruling was incorrect and plans to appeal.
iPhone sales in China slipped 0.3% in the third quarter, while rival Huawei posted a 42% sales surge. That's as competition intensifies in the world's largest smartphone market. Vivo, which primarily sells budget phones, was the top vendor. Apple came in second with 15.6% of the market share, while Huawei came in third, fractionally behind on market share. The contrast in sales performance follows Huawei's comeback last year in the premium segment with its Mate 60 series. It features what analysts said is a breakthrough domestically produced chip using advanced technology. And earlier in the year, the firm challenged Apple's position with its Pura 70 model. Apple has faced additional headwinds in China, including restrictions on iPhone use by some government agencies. The US tech giant responded with multiple discount campaigns to boost sales. The third quarter performance was partly helped by the new iPhone 16, which went on sale last month. On the same day, Huawei launched a competing product, a tri-foldable phone. This ongoing sales battle comes at a time when China's domestic products are booming in some industries, like electric vehicles, which can be made cheaply and are providing fierce competition for European and US rivals. But the newest iPhones got off to a strong start in China, with sales 20% higher in the first 3 weeks since launch, compared with the 2023 models, showing the competition certainly isn't a foregone conclusion. Mercedes-Benz reported on Friday a 64% plunge in third quarter car earnings, massively missing analysts' expectations. The German premium automaker felt the effects as Chinese consumers continued to cut back on luxury goods in a weakening economy. Reflecting on the Q3 results, CFO Harald Wilhelm said that the group will step up cost cuts. Mercedes said the period's earnings were hit by a tough market as well as model revamp costs, especially for new versions of the G-Class SUV, which will roll out in the next quarter. The luxury car maker cut its full-year profit margin target twice during the third quarter. The result's rare bright spot was the continued cash flow generation from the industrial business, up 2% year-on-year. Mercedes joins a growing number of European rivals blaming a weakening Chinese car market for falling profits and margins. It comes as talks between Brussels and Beijing continue over looming tariffs on imports of Chinese EVs into Europe. It's a major headache for European car makers who depend heavily on exports to China, like Mercedes, due to fears of potential retaliation.
This machine is building a 3D printed concrete home in Chile. The team behind it says it's Latin America's first such building. A robot printer pours layers of concrete according to a digital plan controlled by a computer in the city of Concepcion. The end result? This so-called seed house. Project director Claudia Muñoz says it took 29 hours to print the walls and a couple of mornings to put them together. She's with the University of Biobío's architecture faculty, which unveiled the finished product this month. It covers an area of 325 square feet. The house is on land belonging to a private construction company, which was also involved in the project. While there's plenty left to be proven about cost and reliability, university faculty member Rodrigo Garcia says the tech is flexible.
This is very revolutionary technology because it changes the traditional way of building, where plans are made, products are quoted, a large number of elements have to be purchased, and the land prepared, which is time-consuming.
Garcia adds that the project has the potential to be a homegrown solution to housing.
We have many housing demands in Latin America, and we are used to importing things. Standard solutions often come from other countries. The interesting thing here is how a private company, a public university, and state funds have come together to address this complex change due to our Chilean reality, earthquakes in our variety of climates.